The third round, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, numero trace, goes to Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky.
This was a fantastic game. The Fever were up 15, and Angel Reese just put this guy on her back and dragged her team all the way back for a victory. And, Caitlin Clark, she got 13 assists. Maybe she could have taken a couple of those shots at the end, but you got to trust your teammates by the same token. So I don't think her decision making was bad by any means. Here's my thing. We talk about the big four, and we know what the big four is: the NBA, the NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball. Not necessarily in that order. Do you think that all of this Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark stuff, whether you believe it's a rivalry or not, do you think that could be enough to get the WNBA into that conversation and take it from the big four into the big five?
Well, I've been saying this for months. I think it's going to take years of work, but I think that Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark could absolutely start sending the terms into it. I think that Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are the two biggest names in the sport. I think they may be two of the most household names the sport has ever had. Regardless of the legends that have come before and will come after them, people are watching the WNBA at most now. They are doing record numbers because of Caitlin and really Angel Reese with her antics and her on the court little rivalry, if you will, with Caitlin Clark has created a lot of media discussion around these two women. And the fact that we do have media and technology and sports debate shows like the one me and you are doing right now, I think is only helping boost that popularity even quicker than what it would be, 20, 30 years ago. So, and I do think if there is a sport, it's going to surpass I thought it might have been the NHL just because, hockey I think is a very niche fan base, but this NHL Stanley Cup and the ratings show that America still does like hockey, and baseball does not market their stars. So, and it being in the same league and such, the same time period as Major League Baseball in the regular season, I think if there's one sport it would sort of overtake, if you will, would be Major League Baseball.
Okay. Um, to be fair, like the NBA, by the time we get to like this period, like the NBA season is wrapping up because we're at the finals, and the NHL season is wrapping up because we're at like the Stanley Cup final. But I do get what you're saying because we're in the heart of Major League Baseball season, which I do want to touch on that at some point during the show because I'm very interested in this current 7-game road trip that the Guardians are embarking on. So if we could touch on that for a few minutes at some point, we can't. I'd like that. But anyway, um, sorry for getting a little sidetracked there. But getting back to the main discussion, you know, for Angel Reese to basically put her team on her back, kind of like what Connor McDavid did, and say, no, I'm not going down 0-3 against Caitlin Clark. Like, that shows how much, like, she cares. And whether you would feel like it's a rivalry or not, you can tell that when it's Clark Reese, Reese wants it. Because I think she realizes how much media attention this matchup gets.
Absolutely. And by the way, I think that she might have gotten herself into the conversation for WNBA Rookie of the Year.
Oh yeah. And if you look at the standings now, because of the win, Chicago actually moves into the number 8 seed, which means they would be in the playoffs. Who did the Sky pass in the standings? The Indiana Fever. So that game was huge because if Indiana had won, they would have locked up the season series against Chicago 3-0. But now Chicago has a chance to even up the regular season series in their next matchup 2-2.
When do the WNBA playoffs start?
I think it's like late September or
Okay,
some.
so we still got plenty of time.
Oh yeah.
standings right now.
Yeah, but you did bring up the rookie of the year discussion.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm just saying, like, Chicago has jumped in front of Indiana in the standings, so that should mean something in terms of rookie of the year voting.